Messy office real quick. Look at that cat. Look at that dude. We'll see how long he lasts there. But Jimbo says hi. I say hi, Jimbo. You look very content. What a good boy. You're so cute and I love you. Okay. That's all. Hold on, I gotta set this camera back up. Rock and roll. Sorry for the delay. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day. Oh, man, I'm like a giant in the portrait mode. Let's just switch right to the hands. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are having a great day. So, what are we doing today? Well, I'm about to tell you. Chill out, okay? Gosh. We are crocheting some gumi from my new upcoming book, Crochet Goomis, which is coming out in September. In fact, two things are coming out in September, which would be my book, Crochet Goomis, which you can see, there's a little picture right here. You can learn more about it at thegoomis.com. We're going to be talking all stream about it. But another thing that's coming out in September is my new trading card game, and these are some of the prototypes for my trading card game. This is actually probably the last time you're going to see these prototypes because I just finished a new version of them to create before I do the official announcement for the game. So you're seeing a preview right now, a pre-preview even, because I technically haven't even announced the game to anybody except for people that watch the live stream. So you're getting a super duper sneak peek. But here's the gist. Basically, I have a book coming out. It's a crochet book where you learn how to crochet 50 characters in this giant world filled with lore and all these stories about all these little characters. It's so cool. It's called Crochet Goomis. It's coming out in September. You can learn more about it at thegoomis.com. But in addition to that, oops, sorry, Mr. Bigfoot. But in addition to that, we are also coming out with a trading card game that you can play with the crochet that you make in the book. It's so cool. Honestly, the game, like, I honestly don't know which one I like more because they are so freaking cool and unique, and I just love them. It's such a Goomy day. Absolutely accurate, Timothy. Now, I will say, Tim, Goomy is spelled without the E, but it's all good because I bought thegoomis.com in both ways, just in case people spelled it with an E. Ha! Thinking ahead of schedule. All right, so, yes, happy Goomy Day. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to choose 4 of these cards. Now, these are not all the cards. This is only a little selection of the cards. There's a whole bunch more that I separated from the deck. At least half the deck I separated out, and that's because these I'm not ready to share yet. These are new characters and things that I just don't feel comfortable sharing just yet. So just so you know, there's a lot more coming that aren't in this little hand that I have here. But I thought these are the ones I'm comfortable sharing ahead of schedule before the book and game comes out. So what I thought would be kind of fun is maybe we could choose 4 of these cards, and then you could vote on which of those cards we could crochet today. And then while you're voting, you know, we'll do our whole announcement and talk about all the ways you can support this channel, all that fun stuff. And then we'll talk about the game, of course, even though we're gonna do a whole announcement video for the game next week. We're gonna do a little pre-announcement for the special people that join the live stream because you guys are great and you deserve to have super duper behind the scenes information. Oops! Don't tell everybody else, but it's the truth. All right, team. So we're gonna choose 4 of these at random. I already did shuffle it up pretty good. Autocorrect hates that name. That's so funny. That's totally fine. Okay, so we're gonna choose 4 of these at random, and you guys will vote on which 4 we will make. Now, I think most of these, all the live stream will probably recognize. Some of them you'll definitely recognize because they were designed on live streams, but let's see what we got here. We're gonna go with this one. Should I show each one? Yeah, we'll go each one individually. So this one first. Oh, this one was made on a live stream. Walter the Frog. What a cute one. I really like Walter the Frog. He's got a very fun story to him. So that is going to be of the first vote. We're going to vote between the 4 random choices on what to crochet today. So we got Walter the Frog. Houtini. Houtini the owl. Love Houtini. That's the first burb you meet in the book. There's a whole sub-story of burbs in the book. It's really, really cool. All right, let's choose one from up here near the top. Hey, another burb! Maddie the macaw. Wow. Okay, 2 burbs. Interesting, interesting. Oh! Bigfoot, my boy, you need to stay there. All right, one more. Let's do one from the bottom. 3rd from the bottom. Here we go. Hey, Perry the Pinecone. I was actually low-key kind of hoping that we got Perry the Pinecone today because I kind of want to crochet a Perry. But I am down for anything, and we are going to vote between these 4 to crochet. We can talk about all of them, though, throughout this live stream. And obviously, there's quite a lot more. 50 in the book, and we're going to be growing even more so after the book, too. So it's going to... We'll just keep on adding ones on. Okay, so let's get the vote going. Now, the pattern that we crochet today, I'm going to make free on clubcrochet.com for today's live stream and probably throughout the rest of the day, too. So choose carefully on which of these characters you want to crochet. So we're going to go... hey, my mom's in the live stream chat. Hello, Mom. All right, so which Goomy should we crochet? Hey, I'm getting text messages from political people, which is, I am not on that list. Do not text me. Okay, so we got Walter, the frog. We got Houtini, the, in quotes, owl, because he's not actually an owl, and we'll talk about that soon. We got Maddie, the, in quotes, macaw, on account of same thing. He's not technically really a macaw. And Perry the Pinecone, which Pinecone is one word. Okay, great. I always forget that. All right, vote now on which of these 4 we should crochet, and I'm gonna make the pattern for the one that you guys choose free today. So again, we got Walter the frog, we got Houtini the owl, we got Perry the Pinecone, or Maddie the macaw. You can vote now in the live stream chat, and whatever you vote for is what we're going to be crocheting today. I will say pretty much all of these are relatively complicated to crochet. So let's talk about all the things that you're going to need to crochet them along with me, and how you can support this channel if you'd like to support while you guys are voting. Okay, so the first thing is, if you want to crochet along with me, what will you need? The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need the crochet patterns. You can find all of our crochet patterns at clubcrochet.com. Whatever we vote on today will be a free pattern. I'm going to try to make it free as soon as possible. I will say, if you're watching the live stream, you're probably going to have to refresh a few times before it actually shows that it's free, just because, like, of the way, you know, internet be doing. So, and I'm not going to choose that until we vote on which one we want. So bear with me. Oh my gosh, Jimbo is asleep right now and he's so freaking cute. Okay, sorry. Other things that you're going to need to crochet with us. First thing, you're going to need yarn, of course. Now, we're going to be using our worsted weight cotton yarn today, our amigurumi cotton yarn from Club Crochet. This is our special yarn. I'm actually trying to get it available in the shop for anybody that has a membership. It's going to be an exclusive offer for members because we don't really have that many of these yarn left. So I'm just going to put it up just for members to see how well people really want this. And, you know, anyhow. This is the yarn we're going to be using. You can get kits in our store. You can find it at clubcrochet.com. You can use really any kind of yarn that you feel comfortable with. I just really like using worsted weight cotton yarn. But yeah, you can use any kind of yarn that you'd like. Blanket yarn totally works. The thing that you want to look out for, though, is whatever yarn you use, is you want to use a crochet hook that works well with your yarn. Because we're using worsted weight cotton yarn, we're going to be using a size G 4mm crochet hook today. Favorite kind of hook to use with that yarn. You'll need a pair of scissors for cutting stuff. You'll need a darning needle for sewing in hard to reach stitches. Depends on what we're making today, of course. And then the colors of yarn is going to be dependent on what you guys vote for, obviously. You also need some safety eyes, where it looks like we're going to be using somewhere between 8mm or 6mm eyes. 6mm if we're doing one of the birds, 8mm or maybe even 10mm if we're going to be doing one of the frog or the pine cone. But, you know, that's going to depend on what you guys vote on. Outside of that, let's see, do you need anything else? Stuffing? Maybe some black thread if you want to add a mouth or something. It's up to you. All right, so let's see where the poll is going right now. Oh man, it is a split poll right now, so we need some votes. So go vote ASAP. Looks like Walter the Frog is currently winning it, and I'm super cool with Walter the Frog. I love Walter. That'll be a fun one to crochet if we do that one. What else do I want to say? I guess that's that on the, like, hey, do this thing. Wow. Okay. So those are all the things that you're going to need to crochet along with us. If you like what's happening here and you think it's cool and you want to support this channel, well, there's a bunch of ways you can do so. Finding them all at clubcrochet.com. But today, the absolute best way to support, if you would like to support right now, is pre-order my book. Go pre-order the book. If you haven't already pre-ordered it, go check it out. You can find it at thegoomis.com. The new book is very, very, very cool. It's coming out in September. And with it, you will get a printable version of the game that we're working on too. So you can print out the game and play it yourself. You can learn more at thegoomis.com. And today, if you pre-ordered before today's live stream or during today's live stream, we're going to add a button to the giveaway tracker, which is this bucket here. Last time we had one, and when we filled it up, we just we're giving away this Bigfoot Bobby that we made during our first live stream to the winner of the first giveaway. Now, all the people that entered that first giveaway by pre-ordering the book have been entered into our second giveaway here as well. So the thing is, every time someone pre-orders, we're going to add a button to this. We did not have a lot of pre-orders between now and our last stream. We only had, I believe, like 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, only 5 since our last stream. However, so we're going to add those. But in addition to that, if you have pre-ordered it already, and I've already added one into this jar for you, no worries. If you're in today's live stream and I've already added a button for you, I'll add another one for you. All you need to do is comment right now and say, I pre-ordered the book too. Even if you're, just go ahead and enter, just say that in the chat and I'll add an extra button for you. Even if I've already added like a bunch of those for you, that's fine. We're trying to fill this up, so like, you know, I just thought it's kind of a fun way to get extra buttons. All right, so these are for the newbies that just supported. So, Guild Giraffe. Oh, I know who Giraffe is. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to add this little gold button for you. We got Heather. Oh my gosh, Heather Carver, who we did a live stream for her book the other day, actually. Her book's coming out just before ours. You can check it out. It's not a crochet book, but you can check it out. It's called Why We Were Wild. No. When We Were Wild? I'm having a brain fart right now. Go check it out. Heather HD Carver. We'll add this big blue button for you, Heather. Look how big that button is. You know, I've decided, let's add big buttons for the newbies, and then we'll add little buttons for people that comment. This one's going to be for Chelk. Thank you so much. This big silver button. We're going to do, Maria Lambert. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, I know exactly who this person is. Wow, thank you so much for your support. Okay, big gold button for you. And Real Knit Crochet, thank you so much. We're going to add a big button for you. Just a fat button. Fill this thing up a little bit quicker. All right, now anybody that has already supported prior, let's go ahead and add those ones to it. So I know we got Zoe, we got Celia, we got hold on. I know we got Timothy, yeah, Timothy, Prisma, Stitched Fan, Oh my gosh, Stitch Fan also tipped. This is going to be a bonus one for Stitch Fan for tipping. Thank you so much for the support. You can tip if you'd like to. You can find that at clubcrochet.com/tip. There's a link in the description as well. Kaylin. Thank you, Kaylin. Oh my gosh, Kaylin, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Did I already put Celia? Yes, Celia. Patricia. Thank you. We Became Wild. Thank you for reminding me the name of that. And then, you know what? We'll just add one for good luck. I didn't pre-order my own book yet. I need to pre-order my own book. You're right. We'll add this one for good luck. This is just to say thank you to everybody that is currently watching today's live stream. Look at how freaking cool this button is. What am I going to do with all these buttons? I don't know, but they are awesome. So if you pre-order today, let me know, and I'll add a really big button for you to this giveaway thing. What we're going to give away? Well, let's make it right now. Whatever we make today is what is going to be given away when we fill up that bottle, and it looks like we're more than halfway up the bottle. So I don't think it'll be much longer, to be completely honest. So what are we making? What are we making? What are we making? What are we making? End the poll. Walter. Oh, heck yes, dude. Okay, hold on. I got to pull up the pattern, and I've also got to put the pattern on the web. Oh, you know what? The pattern technically isn't going to be, is already free on the website, so that's fine. So if you want to find the pattern, it's just the frog pattern. I need to update it with all the new additions to the book. Including, like, he's got a hat now, and he's got a little cauldron that he goes in. So unfortunately I can't do that on today's live stream because that's just like kind of a lot to do during the stream, but that's all right. I'll get it up as soon as possible after this and fix it up on the website. So what I think might be kind of fun, so this is Walter the Frog. Let's go ahead, let's see, can I do the thing where, is it this one? No. Be right back. That's it. Okay, so hold on. I want to change our picture here to Walter's picture, which is right here. Boom, there's Walter. I'll move him over slightly on this. And what I wanted to do real quick was just read you Walter's description, which I'll turn this music down just a little bit for right now. Like that. And I'll read you Walter's description in the book. Walter is one of the 5 great wizards of Goomia. That's right, we got a bunch of wizards in Goomia. Now, you only really meet Walter in this book as one of the wizards. I'm saving the rest of the wizards for later, but we're going to be meeting a bunch of wizards throughout Goomia. Walter used to be a normal frog, but one fateful night, he left out in the brew, a mushroom cap sprouted on his head, and, well, the hat chooses the wizard. Ever since, Walter has been the Woolly Woods' go-to expert for all charms, curses, and spells, and his fees are actually pretty easy to catch with the net. Walter was one of my first bonimals that I ever crocheted. Bonimals are these little cute mini animals that you just can't help but baw at. These were a huge step forward for my design style back in the day, and it really evolved the way that I use bobble stitches in my crochet. So I have a very special place in my heart for these bonimals. So that is Mr. Walter the Frog. Here's his card. Now, what do you need to crochet Walter? Well, let's grab it. We're going to need black yarn for sure for his pot. And obviously, we're going to need green. Here, I'll turn the music back up as well. There we go. All right, so we got green yarn. That's going to be for Walter's body. We're going to need a little bit of red. Boom. There we go. And then I know I need black yarn, and I've opened like 5 balls of black yarn recently, but I can't find where I put it. I keep like throwing it on the ground like a doofus, dude. Oh, and we're gonna need a little bit of white yarn too. Okay, well, here's our... Here, I guess we'll just pull out of this for our white yarn. This mini ball that we'll open up. And then, I don't know where the heck I put the black yarn. Whatever, I guess we're opening another new one. Okay, this one's a bit of a mess anyhow, so we'll just open this new ball of black yarn. You know what happens when we open a new ball of Club Crochet yarn? Say it with me. Oh! The angels sing. The angels sing from above when we open a new ball of yarn. So we're gonna use this black yarn for Walter's cauldron. And then we need the white yarn for the eyes and stuff too. Okay, so go ahead and grab your yarn. Random question from the chat. You want to crochet something cyberpunk. Any ideas to make it look LED without lights? Oh, Stitch Fan, great person to ask. Hold on, I do have something that can help with that. Get some of this stuff, dude. So first off, you want to use whites and really light colors contrasted against dark colors. That'll make it look like bright lights. But if you can, get some of this yarn. I called it slime yarn. I have it in here because it's really hard to keep together, and I haven't really used it for much stuff. But look at how freaking cool this yarn is. It's basically like neon tubing, and I have not found a good thing for this. I was using all this stuff to make a slime mold, I think, like a slime monster. But it's really hard to crochet with. But I think this would be exactly the kind of stuff you're looking for. I think I found it online. I just searched slime yarn, I think, or tube yarn maybe. I'm not really what I searched for it. But I'll tell you what, Stitch Fan, I will, if you want to email me or text me or DM me on Instagram after this, I'll look for the direct link for where I got that yarn and I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's actually a self-lighting yarn too. Like if you light one end, it's like a filament, so the whole thing lights up. So it's really cool too. Anyhow, that's just the gist there. Now I want to talk a little bit about Walter here, about his card. He has a very, very special abilities in this game. He's actually one of my favorite characters to play with in Battle Goomis. And we'll talk more about Battle Goomis while we do today's live stream, but dude, I set up my whole video thing and I totally forgot to hit the button record, whatever. But we're recording now. So Walter here is a very special card in Battle Goomis. He's actually, so I know you guys don't know how to play Battle Goomis, so I'll try to explain his card in a way that makes sense without knowing really how Battle Goomis works. The basic gist though in Battle Goomis is you are controlling a little team of characters. It's very like Pokemon coded. You're controlling a team of characters and you're battling each other's teams. Every character gets their own like action to perform each round, and so they all have different kinds of stats. Like they got health and they got defense. They've got their speed, their wit, and might. So you can play this game aggressively and try to beat each other up, or you can play it really cleverly and try to wind your yarn ball up before the opponents. So you can kind of play the way you want to play it, and the way that works best or is best with the team that you have. Now Walter is a very special card in Battle Goomis, and again, every card really is a special card in Battle Goomis. They all have their own special abilities. But the reason why I really like Walter is there's a rule in this game called inspiration. Essentially, every time you're trying to do something in the game, you have to roll an amount of dice to see if you can successfully perform an action. If you fail a roll, you get inspiration, which means that you'll get an extra roll in addition to the ones that you already rolled on your next turn. So it just makes it like every time you fail in the game, you get a little bit higher of a chance to do better next time. But in addition to that, some characters need that inspiration to do a super powerful ability. So basically like you want them to fail so that next turn they do really, really good. Only certain characters have that. Like there's like a dragon in the game that can like burn a whole team up, but he can only do that if he failed the turn before because he had inspiration. Well, that's not the case if you have Walter. Walter is kind of a cheat code to get inspiration because they can inspire their entire team. So they are kind of like this super cool meta character where you can have Walter on your team and a character that requires inspiration for something, and so Walter will like inspire the team and then that other character will like knock them all down. It's really, really cool. Actually, Walter is a super duper clutch character in the game, and why I really like Walter too is because Walter is really smart. They got 2 wit and they're cheap. They only cost 10 points, which is actually like, that's the second lowest. You can get some characters for 5 points, but 10 is actually really, really affordable in the game. So I really love Walter, but even better than Walter is his story. I just think Walter's so cool. So let's go ahead and start crocheting Walter. Now, like I said, the pattern is just for the basic frog is on website right now. I unfortunately don't yet have in the additions to this pattern, because every pattern that we're adding for this book has like some kind of additions to it, or they've been like corrected and like checked time and time again. So Walter here gets his hat and his cauldron in addition to the base pattern of the frog. So I don't have the cauldron and the hat on the website yet. So we're just gonna go ahead and make them, and I'll have to explain what I'm doing as I'm going. And yeah, I think that's my gist right there. Any questions, concerns? Questions or concerns from the peanut gallery? Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I very, very, very much, obviously, like to talk about this, like a lot, like maybe too much. I don't know. I guess I should like to talk about this a lot. It's my book, and I'm excited about it. So I'm not going to feel bad for being excited. All right? Good. Let's crochet. All right, so I'm going to be making Walter the Frog's main body here. We're going to need our white yarn too. Now, this is a smaller ball of yarn for Club Crochet, so it does make a beautiful sound, but it's much quieter. It sounds like this. Wait. Hold on, I got to get this part off. There we go. Sounds like this. Ha, ha, ha. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. Alright, so we're going to need this white yarn. So we'll go ahead and let that sit down at the side. We're just going to need a little bit of this for his eyes for right now. So it's not really the end of the world. We could have just gone with a different shade. Not a different shade, but a different ball. But oh well, we didn't do that. Okay, so let's start like this. With a magic loop. What a magic loop. Alright. I should feel excited. Well, thank you for saying that, Michelle. And hey, Michelle is here. Oh, Michelle, how are you, dude? Michelle is like an OG. You're right, it is not just a book, it is a world. That is so accurate. Let's actually talk about the world a little bit. Because you're exactly right. This book is not just a book, it's an entire universe, legitimately. A yarniverse. Oh my gosh, that's what I should call this universe. I should call it the yarniverse. But this huge yarniverse is like, it's gigantic. There's the main characters that we have been discussing throughout this thing are characters that are part of the book Crochet Goomis. So they live on a planet that is called Gumia. Now Gumia is just the main planet of this story, but there's actually more planets in this story that we do kind of touch on slightly. There's a lot of like space stuff going on in this book specifically. There's a big so in this book, there's actually this big overarching story about a rip in space twine that is floating above the main continent of Gumia. And so a lot of this book is like the story about that and stuff. Yes. Good question, Square Kitty. Okay, hold on. I will answer Square Kitty, and then we'll get back to more stories about what is Gumia and stuff. So Square Kitty asks that they saw that my book is available on Amazon Brazil, which is true. It is on Amazon for pre-order right now. You can get it, I think, in pretty much anywhere. It's going to be in a bunch of different languages too. So we'll have a Spanish version. I know we'll have a French version. They're going to be translating it to a lot of languages. So if English is not your native language, don't you worry. It'll be out in your language as well. But what Square Kitty asks is that it's only available for pre-order on Kindle in Brazil, which is probably because the Spanish version hasn't been translated yet, and so we haven't started the printing for that. But yes, it is available in Kindle as well. Now, of course, I prefer you to buy it physical because I think it's going to be really cool. It's got oh my gosh, I should be getting my first copy of the book within the next few, within this month, or within June. I'm so excited because the book has a fold out map. It's huge. It's like, okay, so the map is like literally, it's like actually, you can't even see it in this camera. It's going to be giant, a really big map. And the book itself has a, hold on, there we go, has a fold out map. So you can fold it out and look, and it's got all of the characters hidden in the map in like a Where's Waldo kind of thing. My friend Dom drew it for us. It's so cool. Anyhow, sorry, I'm totally going off track here. Map is awesome, but the question that Square Kitty had was, besides the book being digital, are the cards included in the digital version too? Yes, they are. So in the book, there's a page near the end of the book that talks about Battle Goomis a bit and has a big QR code and a link. If you use that link in the book, it'll take you directly to the printable version of the cards. Now the printable version of the cards, they're not like, there's currently testers out there that can get those printable versions, but those printable versions are going to be for the book eventually as well. So yes, basically they will be available for the digital version in addition to the physical version of the book as well. Other things about the physical version that is different than the digital one is, or sorry, I guess I should say, I think the only thing that's really different between the physical and the digital version, outside of having like a physical book, which is awesome and you should get it, is that it has these flaps on it on the physical one. So I made sure that they had a special binding for this book so that it would actually lay flat and open, so that when you're crocheting, it'll like stay open like that. So it's got like this very special binding, and the covers of the book have flaps on them, so you can use those flaps to keep track of where you're at in the book. And those flaps also have a ruler on them, so you can use it to like make sure you're engaged. And it also has all the abbreviations on the flap too, so it's like a quick abbreviation thing. Basically, like I do with all my crochet kits and pretty much everything that I try to make too, is I tried to give as much utility as I could to the book itself. So you can actually, utilize the book in addition to the, to just like using it as a book and crocheting and stuff like that, which I was really keen on. Like, I thought that was really a really cool thing that they decided to go forward with, because I had a bunch of ideas like that. Some of them didn't really work out because they were maybe a little too crazy of ideas. Like, for example, one thing I really wanted to do with the book that I just never accomplished, because we realized that the page numbers weren't going to work in the right way. But anyhow, in the bottom corner of the book, there's this little Goomy it looks like the first Goomy you meet in the book is called Sig. He's the standard issue Goomy, so he's just he's literally just a ball. So there's an illustration of Sig in the corner, and what I really want to do is make it bouncing, so that when you flip the pages like this, it would be bouncing. But the problem was, it just didn't work out because there were certain pages where you wouldn't have, like, you needed full art on certain pages, so it would break up the animation, and it just didn't look right. So that's an example of like the very tiny little things that I wasn't able to add into the book that I really wanted to, that we're probably gonna have to do on the next one. But anyhow, I probably shouldn't talk about the things that I wasn't able to do and start talking about the things that I was able to do, like the gigantic map. I'm gonna make the map interactive on the website too, so you can like find the patterns from the Goomis by going on. I'm gonna make it so thegoomis.com has like this big interactive map, so you can go click a character and it'll open up information about them and where you can find their pattern and stuff. I thought that'd be really fun. Someone asked in the chat, who was the person that asked? Oh, Kaylin, yes, can there be a poster version of the map? Absolutely. We are totally doing a poster version. We're also going to do stickers of all the, well, not all the characters, but of a lot of the characters. I am so excited about a poster of the map, though, too. You have no idea. And then the other thing someone asked for the other day was a poster of cards. I guess that's like a big thing that people do with playing cards, is they'll have a poster with all the uncut cards. So I think we'll probably actually do something similar to that as well. What round am I on, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4. I just finished round 4. No, I didn't finish round 4. I'm about to finish round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. And then increase right here. I need to do a new video tutorial for a lot of the patterns in this book too, because like I said, there's a video for this frog. That's super useful. There's not a video for the full Walter though, like with the cauldron and everything too. So I need to work on that as well. All right, Lotta, thanks for joining. Sweet dreams. I hope you dream of really cool candy canes. Cool candy canes. All right, I'm on round 5 now. Yeah. Already planning the next one. Dude, well, okay, so here's another insight. So this, like I said, for people that are watching the live stream right now, you guys are getting serious behind the scenes information of stuff that, like, I'm only really willing to talk to you because you're the core. You are the loop. You know, that's what I think of as the core audience of Club Crochets, like the people that are the inner loop. And y'all are literally the inner loop. So thank you so much for being here. And because of that, I'm going to spill a little bit of tea. Because Michelle said, already planning the next one. This book was planned originally to be 100 characters. 100. Can you freaking imagine? That's what they agreed on. I pitched that to them. I was like, I want to do 100 characters in the book because, you know, I want it like Pokemon-esque. So I want there to be a lot of characters, blah, blah. And they were like, we love that. We love that idea. Oh my gosh, let's do it. And then I started to submit to them like the files for it to start getting put into the book. And they realized that there's no way in hell we're going to fit 100 characters in one book. It was way too big. This book ended up being hold on, I can look right now. It's 200 and I think it's almost 260 pages, which is really big for a craft book. Like, that is rare to have a craft book that big. And so they were like, we would have to double that to fit 100 characters. We can't do that, Lou. I'm really sorry. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's crazy. That was a crazy ask in general. I can't believe they even approved that originally. Wild. But the reason I bring that up is because I had 100 characters ready to rock and roll. I had 100. So it was like, okay, well, there's book 2, I guess, maybe. You know, like, I guess we're going to do another one. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to see if it's something I want to do. This book has been such a challenge for me, so I don't know if I will do another one or not. It depends on how much, it depends on how well this book sells, to be completely honest, if I'm gonna do another one or not. But I did have a lot of fun with it, and I'm enjoying it so much. And I think regardless of if I do this in another book or not, those additional characters will come out as Battle Goomy cards eventually. You know, we'll do characters for everybody. So that's what I meant. Like, we're gonna continue expanding on this world anyhow. So I don't really mind that if we don't end up doing another book for that. Oh, we were talking too much for Jimbo. He's out of here. Okay, sorry. I lost track of where I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on round 5. Okay, so round 5 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase, and then 6. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. I'm totally going off the walls here. How many did I settle for? I had to settle for 50 characters. They actually asked maybe if we could do less than 50, and I was like, no, 50 is my minimum, and I'll make it work. Like, we'll figure out a way to make this work. And the way that I made this work for like page count and stuff is I kind of like combined some characters, not like in the pattern itself, but instead like there's certain, so every character gets their own like section of the book, you know, like Walter the Frog is a big section of the book. He's like 4 pages of the book. And so my way that I made this work is that some of the characters are in the same section. So for example, there's not very many characters like this, but there's like a family of cephalopods, and that family is all together in one section. But they each get their own little description story, but it's like, that way I could actually fit all 50 characters in one book, which was really important for me. Okay, let's see. I want to do 6 increase. I think we just finished round 5. So I'm on round 6, which is all single crochets. They'll just keep going. And then we can start adding the face and stuff. Dude, thank you so much, Watermelon. I really appreciate that comment. I will say I'm so stinking excited about this. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this book is I actually have been working on this for... I mean, I think it is very, very fair to say I've been working on this for over a decade. Because there's characters in this book that I've literally been working on forever. And in addition to that, the seasons... So the way I've been trying to like build out Club Crochet of doing like, oh, season 1, season 2, that's kind of how I started to design these characters too, of like they're characters in these regions of this world. And every season that we did of those of Club Crochet was kind of like visiting of different section of this world too. And obviously like we've expanded upon, there were so many characters in every time I did one of those seasons that I didn't get time to crochet. So we added those characters to the book. Hi, Jiminy. He's leaving? Okay, bye, Jiminy. Jimbo said hi, but he's been booted out. All right, we're gonna add some eyes. I think we want 6mm eyes. Not 6mm, 8mm, which is this size. I really need to put little like things on these, so that you could see, like, so I know how big the eyes are. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna lock this down. I believe this is the right size. Yeah, this is a good size. Like that. All right, so this is what I like to do with the eyes to fit them into the bobble stitches. If you haven't seen my stuff before, I'm trying to put eyes in these bobble stitches. See this weird little loop right there? We're gonna try to get the eye under that loop. So we're gonna go in there, and I'm gonna take my crochet hook and just kind of like pry my way into the stitch like that. And then once I'm in the stitch, I wiggle, 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 and I'm basically making space so that when I take the hook out like that, it'll leave this little tiny gap that I can get the back of the eye in, and then wiggle the eye into place. So it'll go exactly where I wanted it, and that was exactly, look how perfect that is. That was perfect. Wow, what a pro. What a pro. Yeah, actually, you know, I was doing the math yesterday, and next year, 2027, will be 20 years of me designing amigurumi. Isn't that crazy? I've been doing it for 20 years. That's wild, man. Like, holy cannoli, that's a long time. I started in high school, so it makes sense that I've been doing it for that long, but it does kind of like put into perspective how old I am. Over half my life, I have been a professional crochet designer. How wild is that? That's so weird. All right, so there's our eyes. That looks pretty cute to me. Boop. All right, we need a mouth for this fellow. Now the mouth for the little for our little frog here is really simple. He just has a nice straight mouth. Like, no, I don't do a smile or anything on it because he's a frog, you know? He's not thinking critically. He is a wizard or a witch. Or so, sorry, is he a wizard? One of 5 great. Is he a wizard or a witch? I can't remember. Yeah, wizard. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. So in the book, like, this is the only wizard you meet from Gumia in this book, but there's other wizards in the story. And eventually, I think I want to also add witches in the book, and there will be like factions of witches versus wizards. And I don't think they're necessarily going to be negative towards each other, but I just really like the idea of magical entities like kind of battling each other, or like this secret like coven of witches and stuff. So I think that's what I want to do eventually, is add in some more lore and characters that are witches and wizards. There we go. There's our mouth. Look at that. That's cute. I like that. Pretty simple. It's going to look great when he has his little hat. Walter here was actually designed on a live stream. He was made during our first live stream of the Woolly Woods, I believe. Which the Woolly Woods is actually our first chapter of the book. Woolly Woods was season... Oh, I can't remember. I think that was season 6? No, season 6 was dinosaurs. I think season 5 then, maybe. I can't remember. But it's one of the seasons of our deluxe kits. Look at how cute he is. And we designed him on a live stream, which was pretty fun. Hold on. Alright. I was going to start making the hat, but you know what? We'll come back to the hat. Let's keep making the body of Walter here. I think it'd be really fun to make a bunch of witches and wizards and like have a world to that. Okay, we locked the eyes. We stitched the mouth. And now we're on round 7, which is where we're going to start making the legs. Cool. We can do that. I can do that. Witches get stitches. Exactly. Timothy knows it. Yeah, actually, I want to add this guy into it. So here's a little preview. This is totally, like, really, really early on. I don't know where this is going to go at all. But I want to add in a later installments, I want to add in these two to the witches and wizards. Like this I want to be one of the great witches, and this guy I want to be one of the great wizards. And I want them to be like, I don't know, I think they should be like siblings, like little goblin siblings, and they're just like magically inclined. But I also like the idea that they're kids, because goblins are supposed to be like baby goblins. So I like the idea that like these two goblins are siblings, but they're just kids and they have like powers beyond their control and stuff. I just think it'd be funny. We made these on live streams as well. All right, let's get back to it though. Sorry about that. I know. I do this every time we do a live stream. I get like so, I don't know, like I get so in the weeds of lore that I forget what I was doing. 1, 2, 3, one more will be 4, like that. Nice. All right, so there's one of our feet. Now, I go through all this effort to make these feet, but he's gonna be in a cauldron, so you don't even get to see his legs, but we know that his legs are there, which is why we're gonna also add a butt crack. So don't let me forget, we need to add a butt crack to Mr. Walter here. Even though you won't even see it, we'll know. And that's what's important. Oh, cool! Congrats, Stitch fan. All right. Witchlings. Oh my gosh, yes, witchlings. Oh, dude, Watermelon, congratulations. Watermelon says that they reached over 1,000 followers on their shop. Congrats, dude. That's a huge milestone. Congratulations. Yes, please set a reminder on your calendar for the new book. Please do. So, we're going to be announcing more about the game next week, too. I've obviously been working really hard on the game, and I'm really excited to share more about it. But one of the things we're working on with the announcement is a version to play the game digitally with me, so that we can play it together, so I can test it. Like, that's what really I need to do. I need to test the heck out of this game. So I think next week I'm gonna start I'm gonna have like a tabletop simulator version of the game open that I'll be able to like test with people that are part of the playtest. If you're interested in testing this game out and becoming a playtester of it, please reach out. You can email me directly at louis@clubcrochet.com and just say, I'm interested in testing the game out, and I'll send you all the information about the test, because I really could use the feedback right now. But yeah, next week I think we're going to be launching a way to play it for testers digitally, so that it's easier for testers to try it out and play it with me, and I can get feedback live. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, if you have any questions about the game in general or the testing, just let me know right now in the chat, and I'll just talk about it today. But like I said, we're gonna have a whole announcement, including there's gonna be like videos and live streams that are specifically about the game. So just look out for that. Those are gonna be starting probably like next week. That's honestly, Watermelon, that is definitely the long-term goal here, is a video game version. Absolutely. That would be really, really cool. That would be really cool. Yeah, I have this idea for a companion app, because the game, so the game of Goomis, Battle Goomis, is requires a lot of dice. You need dice to like roll things. You don't really need that many dice. You only really need like 5 dice per character or per player. But I like to use a lot of dice because in the game, like, here, I'll show you. Where'd I put Walter's card? Is it in here? Did I move it? Did I put it somewhere? Oh, there it is. So in the game, like, here's the card. Hold on, I need dice to show you this. For like the first time ever, I don't have like 20 dice right next to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. I actually cleaned up. Good for Louie. You know what? We're proud of Louie here. But anyhow, when you take damage and stuff, I suggest that people use these as like little markers. Like normally I use little dice, but buttons will work and stuff too. So you add them over the hearts and stuff. So you know, like, oh, he took 1 damage. Oh, he took 2 damage. Oh, he's defended for 1. Oh, he's stunned, so he can't attack next turn. Things like that. So, anyhow, the reason I bring that up is because you don't really need to have that many dice if you want to play it digitally. So what I really want to build is a companion like web app that you can use to roll dice and keep track of stats and stuff. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Peter, who's been helping us make, who's been helping with like different game stuff that I've been wanting to work on, and to see if he'd be interested in helping us make this little easy to make companion app. But I'll let you know on how it goes. If you have anybody in your life that knows how to make games or apps or whatever, send them my way, because I definitely could use the help. And I don't think it's a very big project. I actually think it's a pretty little itty bitty project, so I think it would be pretty fun to do. All right, this is going to be my last stitch for Walter's body. After this, we can start working on his hat and his cauldron and stuff. But we need to obviously stuff him, sew him closed, and then, of course, we cannot forget, we need to add a butt crack. It has to happen, guys. It's a legal mandate, okay? I signed a contract that said if a crochet can have a butt crack, it has to. Okay, I didn't really sign any contract, but I would sign that contract. I guess it depends on what I get. No, it doesn't. I want to add butt cracks anyhow. How long are we on live for? Great question, Tyro. Thanks for asking. I think we'll be live for probably till 5 p.m. So probably only about an hour, maybe a little longer than that. It depends how fast I crochet the rest of our Walter the Frog here. I usually stream for about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes longer, rarely, but sometimes. So something like that. But I will let you know. Like I'll keep you updated on when we get a little bit closer to the end. All right. Good night, dude. I'll see you next week, Stitched fan. Congrats on the new release. I'm excited to hear more about it. Yeah. Whoa, Watermelon said, so Watermelon in the chat said that they've been getting into resin lately. So you're definitely going to be making custom dice. That's super cool. Oh my gosh, Watermelon dice. Dude, can I get a set? I want a set of that. That's so cool. Dude, we'll make a whole Watermelon set for you. Oh my gosh, that's such a fun idea, dude. Oh, I see. I feel that, Zoe. Zoe said that they were born, unfortunately, without a bum. So that they give them in all their crochet pieces. Yeah. I think that's really altruistic of you and really kind. And you deserve praise and love for that, Zoe. And I hope one day you get a butt. I really do. I really hope that one day you too can grow a butt crack just like the rest of us. I had to grow my own. It took forever, dude. Forever. But that you didn't eat your veggies, huh? When you were a kid? I bet you didn't eat your vegetables. That's what my doctor always told me. Eat your vegetables. If you don't, you're not gonna get a butt. But luckily, I ate my peas and carrots, and now I can fart and everything. It's pretty incredible. Not to brag, but it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. I got a butt. No big deal. Whatever. All right, we're gonna close his butt real quick. Whoop. Scoop deep boop. I'm not crazy. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I've been doing daily videos on my other channel, Louie's Loops, which is my channel that I actually started before Club Crochet. And over there, I've been doing videos about the lore of all these characters. So if you want to learn more about different characters that I've been talking about, go check out the channel Louie's Loops. That's my secondary channel. And on that channel, you'll see like I've been doing a daily post about Goomies and stuff. So. All right, we're gonna add this little booty right here. Go all the way down to here. This. I like to just do it really easily, you know. I don't want to get too complicated with how the butt's made, because like some people do crochet in a way to make it like have big old cheeks, but I just don't have the effort to do that. I just want to add a little line, give the idea of a butt crack, pull it in tight, and I think that will make its own. That'll make it our own cheeks. Cut. Let's go ahead and stuff that in there. Like that. And he got some cheeks. He got some cheeks. They're not that cheeky, but there's a little cheek. There's a little bit of a cheek action happening there. I like it. All right. There is Walter's body done. Now let's turn him into a wizard. The first thing we need, so here, if you want to turn into a wizard like Walter is, here's the things you're gonna need. First thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need a cauldron. You need a cauldron. And now, if you're not a frog, you probably can get away without needing a cauldron necessarily. But for every wizard I've met, which, to be fair, is only Walter. But every wizard I met, a cauldron came first. Now, I actually think that this is probably a rare way to make a wizard. I love the idea that in Gumia, or maybe in the entire Yarniverse in general, that characters that are wizards were chosen to be those wizards. They didn't choose to be a wizard. A hat chose them to be a wizard. So the hat chooses the wizard, not the wizard chooses the hat. I just think that's a really fun idea. That like someone could be just like, oh, I'm a wizard now, and I don't have a choice in that, and I have to deal with that. And the hat's like, yes, you are my wizard. I just think that's a really cute idea. And with Walter specifically, I loved the idea of a mushroom sprouting on his head that just looked like a hat. And then that's that's why he like turned into a wizard. He's like, wow, I guess I have special powers now. In the book too, there's parts of it where he talks about like what Walter does with his powers and stuff. And one of the things he does is he turns all of the button flies in the woods purple. So he uses his powers for very like mundane things, I think. Maybe he also uses them to like grant some, you know, temporary abilities or special things for characters. I just don't know. We need to evolve the lore of Walter even further. Are there little shops and stores in Gumia Land? Cars? Ooh, great question, dude. Yes, the answer is yes, there are. So there's definitely shops. There's a lot of shops. There's not a lot that I actually talk about in the book, I don't think, but in the lore of the world, I know Mogsby, which is the goblin village, that you get to. So after you go through, so you start the book by going through the Woolly Woods, and then you go through the Dusty Hook dungeons, which is like these dungeons in the depths of the Batonian Bluffs, which are these giant mountains that are filled with buttons, which is a whole nother story that we can talk about another time, and I'm actually really proud of that story. But anyhow, you come out of those mountains and you come to a goblin village. You cross a bog where you meet some goblins and stuff, but then you come to this village, and in this village, its name is Mogsby. Now, Mogsby was actually is a pretty important village for my like whole lore story building, because I actually created Mogsby originally as a town for a role playing story that I was working on, and so I was able to like be like, oh no, wait, that lore from that story is canon in this story in Gumia. So that was really cool of mine. Anyhow, in Mogsby there is a market. What is it called? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. It's called like here we go. Reflections of Harm. Stubbs Stuff. Yes, it's called Stubbs Stuff. It's like a little market. It's where they got antique trinkets and stuff. See, in Mogsby, Mogsby is actually a really popular spot for Goomies because it's been around for a long time, and the goblins that live in Mogsby really like mud and dirt, as most goblins usually do. And so what they've done in Mogsby is they've dug so deep and like thoroughly that they've found a bunch of old, like ancient Goomian trinkets and stuff that they've just like discovered. And so all these trinkets actually become really useful in the land of Gumia because there's not a lot of like things that aren't made out of yarn in this world, you know? Like mostly everything is made out of yarn, so it's hard to find like a tool for, I don't know, holding things flat or holding things up or protecting yourself against like falling debris or whatever. So because of that, trinkets or these little things that these goblins keep finding are really valuable, especially for people that are in the mountains that want to mine, or people in or Candians, which are a whole nother race of creatures in this world. Candians are like candy or sweets themed characters in the book. So like there's donuts and cookies and stuff, and there's a whole lore on why there are donut people there, by the way. There's explanations for all of this in the book. But one of the things about Candians is Candians are really smart. They're just really intuitive and intelligent. They've been on this planet probably the shortest amount of time of every other kind of species on this planet. Now, long enough, they've been there long enough where people don't really know, like, no one knows the first Candian that existed or whatever. But they do know that they've been there for a shorter amount of time than most. And because of that, hold on, I need to count stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because of that, Candians are really innovative. So they create a lot of inventions all the time. And one of the inventions that they've made is for their favorite pastime. And don't worry, this all makes sense for Timothy's question, which was, by the way, just to go back to Timothy's question, are there little shops and stores in Gumia? Are there cars? He also asks, are there houses? So to answer the question, yes, there are cars, because Candians favorite pastime is the Loop Prix, which is a racing, like it's basically like Formula One, but for candy. And they have cars that they do big races all around Sweet City, which is the main metropolis of the sweets area. And so they do have cars. Now, normally the Loop Prix is consistent mostly of candy and racers and stuff. They have Mercedes. Mercedes is the reigning champions. You actually learn most about the Mercedes in the book, because their driver is a donut hole, and their pit crew / part-time tires are a bunch of donuts. Anyhow, there's a bunch of these teams in Gumia. There's a bunch of these racing teams, but recently some new racers from other regions in Gumia have been invited to join, and there's a team from the Stitch-soaked shores, which is like the beaches of Gumia, that have recently joined into the Loop Prix to try to challenge the reigning champions. Again, the reigning champions are called Mercedes. The new team is called Claudie, because they're a bunch of hermit crabs. And so Claudie is the current, like, they're climbing the ranks of the Loop Prix. And anyhow, yes, there are cars. Kind of. Most Goomies don't, like, there's not roads in a lot of Gumia, so the only real place that people can drive cars is on the Loop Prix. But there are some vehicles. There are houses. Houses kind of look different depending on where you're at. You know, if you're in Mogsby, the houses more look like shacks that are built together of buttons and pins and needles and stuff. Whereas if you're in like the Sweet City, the houses are made out of like hardened dough and yarns and starches and stuff, because the starches of Sweet City give more construction materials, so they actually have essentially like a castle that's made out of gingerbread and stuff. Anyhow, there's a lot of lore. Is this all stored and categorized in your head, Louie? Yes, it is. Luckily, a lot of it is written down for this book specifically, but yes, it is. I would say 20% of it is written. Well, no, most of this is written down in the book now, but yeah, a lot of it is stored in my head in just various sections of my brain and made up on the spot. And again, this is only one planet. That's the other thing about this book, is you visit Gumia, you meet all these characters in this planet, but you also get introduced to oh wait, this is only one planet in this universe of yarn, and there's other planets, and you meet some aliens, and you meet some characters from other dimensions which aren't even from this universe. So it's really cool. It's just it grows really, really quickly. And every time I make a character, you've been here, Timothy. You guys have all been here. You've seen the lore get created as I'm making the characters. For example, yesterday's character that I shared, which, he's in the other room. But the one that we made last week, Professor Bonaparte, got a whole lore drop on him on my Louis Loops channel yesterday. And I think it's really cool. So essentially, I don't know if you remember, but he was an archaeologist T-Rex that we made last week on the stream. Hold on, I need to make sure I'm at the right count. And I am. Yes. Okay, so we're good. Yeah. So last week we made a T-Rex, a blue T-Rex who is an archaeologist. And we were coming up with parts of his story in the stream. But then I realized I actually had a whole thing about archaeologists and stuff in Gumia that I had already kind of created. So I sort of puzzle pieced it together a little bit with the professor. So the professor, let me go grab him really quick so you can see him. One sec. All right, sorry about that. This is Professor Bonaparte. He's who we made last week on our stream. Hi, Chrissy. Welcome to the stream. So Professor Bonaparte is an archaeologist from the Forgotten Islands. There's a whole island that's just dedicated to dinosaurs. Dinosaurs in Gumia used to exist. They were the first species in all of Gumia, and they used to be everywhere. But they've since kind of like dwindled, and now they almost all reside on one big island called the Forgotten Island, which is like a volcanic island with this giant volcano. I think his name is Larry. Anyhow, the professor here is from the Forgotten Island, as most dinosaurs are, but he's actually goes all across the planet because he's an archaeologist and he's looking for different things. Well, one of the things that this professor is looking for right now is the rumored reflections of Larg, which is a it's so far a myth. It's just stories, but apparently there are these pieces of some kind of ancient relic that that he has come to hear about through like the talk of goblins. There's been like this story about this ancient troll god named Larg, and he's got like there's these pieces of this relic that he's looking for, and there are some like myths that this sorry, I'm just counting stitches. There's these myths that that these pieces have magical properties to them. So he's now searching Gumia for pieces of the reflections of Larg. Hold on, I gotta count stitches. 7 and then a decrease. Yeah, so he is currently trying to look for these reflections of Larg to see if it's even like real or not. So he is I think he's gonna be like exploring somewhere in Mogsby eventually when we do finally get to him in a book or in a story or something. But yeah, there's this whole story about trolls and goblins and orcs and ogres, and like there's like a creation myth that I've made for the goblins. I think I kind of talked about it last week a little bit, but basically in this world I've been building, all these different kinds of characters have different like origin stories of where this species even came from. And goblins have a very special one because they're one of the most ancient civilizations in the entire Yarniverse. And they've got this really detailed creation myth, including all these goblins, trolls, orcs, and ogres. It all started with goblins, and then there's, you know what? We'll get to it at another time. It's honestly, it's too much to explain in a live stream where we're crocheting a wizard frog. So I'll talk about it some other time. It's getting you prepared for a TV series? Oh my gosh, that would be so freaking cool. I should pitch this to Netflix. We'll do a stop motion crocheted TV series. Oh my god, can you imagine? No, I'll go to Leica. Oh, can you imagine going to Leica Studios and being like, make a stop motion crochet for this? That'd be so freaking cool. Dreams. All right, have a good night, Ivy. Thanks for joining. Hope you're having a great day. I missed the stitch up, didn't I? I have been obsessed with this person's videos, and you guys should check them out. It's this kid, and when I say kid, I mean he is like a baby. He's a child. He's like maybe 3 or 4 years old. His name is Acer, and his dad does these videos every day of Acer. Like, this kid is a freaking savant. He is a genius. He's so good at math. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but there is this game called Countdown, I think, or something like that. Something does countdown. Something does cats do countdown. Cat? I don't know. Anyhow, it's where they get like 6 numbers, I think. By the way, we just finished the cauldron. And I'm gonna hide this end in. And this kid can like figure out solve these math problems in seconds. That it's so impressive. Anyhow, check him out. It's called I think if you just look up Acer, ACER and Countdown, you'll probably find it there. It's so cute. He does different shorts every day, and they're just so, honestly, it's really inspiring. It's like this kid is just a genius. This kid alone is going to be the thing that saves us from the freaking robo apocalypse. I'm telling you, this kid's a genius. But also, it's just really sweet and cute, and they're just little short videos that he posts every day, and you get to try to like pause it and do the math also to try to like also solve the math problem. But I very rarely can solve it, especially faster than Acer. Acer's a genius. Okay, so we've got our little cauldron here. We've got our little frog. Now our frog can go in the cauldron. Now we're gonna need to add some like brew into this cauldron, but even more important is we need to add a hat to our frog. Our frog needs a hat. So let's go ahead and put him to the side, and let's get started on the hat. That's gonna be our last thing I think that we're gonna need to crochet for this character. So if you have questions, please let me know. And I'm obviously happy to talk more and more about the game or the lore or whatever. If you got any questions at all, if you want to know more about some of the other characters that we pulled cards for before we started, if you need a reminder, before we started today's stream, we pulled 4 cards, and that's why we're crocheting Walter the Frog today, is because Walter was the card that we voted on. But we also pulled cards for Houtini, the owl, which is a bird, which is another species of characters in this world. There's Maddie, the macaw, who is also a burb. And then there's Perry, the pine cone, who is a pine cone. But I have more information. They've all got lore. They've all got important information about like how their cards work in Battle Goomis and stuff, and why they are a very special card and how you can use them strategically. And I know it won't make much sense because I haven't released much information about the game yet, but I can do my best to explain it if you have any questions on certain characters. For whom is the book dedicated? Wow, thanks for asking, Timothy. Good question. I actually have 2, I think it's 2 whole pages. Here, let me scroll to the back of the book to see. Yeah, there's an entire page that's all for acknowledgements, which my publishers originally were like, do you really need a page to say thank you to a bunch of people? And I was like, yeah, I do, because there's a lot of people I want to say thank you to. So who is it dedicated to? It's dedicated to everybody. Like, not everybody, but everybody that's important to me, which includes obviously family and friends and people in my life that believed in me, people in my life that didn't believe in me, that were actually extremely motivated because they didn't believe in me. But there's also a huge special thanks to you in here, to everybody that's a fan, to everybody that's helped come up with ideas or given me money to help me make my dream. So yeah, it's actually a pretty massive acknowledgements page that I think is maybe a little too much. Or at least the publishers thought, like, okay, like, chill. But I just really wanted to say thank you to everybody, because, you know, this is my first book, and I've been designing for 20 years. I've had a lot of opportunities to make books in my past, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I waited till now. And so I really felt it was important to say thank you to all the people that helped make this a reality and helped make it so that I could wait and take my time and wait for the perfect opportunity, for the perfect idea, for the perfect publisher and the perfect characters. And I really, yeah, I'm just extremely thankful to everybody in my life that's helped me make my dream a reality. And I mean, I think you can understand that, right? For whom is this book? Oh, would I sign the book? Yes, Melinda. Yes, I'll definitely be signing the book. I think everybody that pre-orders the book, I'm going to try to do at least like a signed bookmark kind of thing for them, so that they have a signed version. I don't really know how I'm going to do it exactly yet, but we are going to be doing. I'm planning on doing a big tour up the coast of California all the way to Oregon, or all the way to Washington. It's something I want to do, just a driving tour, where I'll stop at a bunch of bookstores and do signings, and game stores and yarn stores. I also want to do one on the East Coast really bad. But the big way that I'm going to have offers for signed copies, and whether that's like the copy you already bought or something. But yeah, anyhow, is during the crowdfunding campaign for the book, which again, we're going to be announcing that like next week. It's going to come out prior to the book. I was going to do it after the book, but I think we're going to do the crowdfunding campaign before the book comes out. And part of the support is you can get a signed copy of the book, is what we're planning. And then in addition to that, pretty much anybody that has like a membership on the website, I'm going to like find a way to get them a signed copy if that's something they want. So yeah, basically, if you're a super fan and you want a signed copy, especially like, first off, pre-order it. If you really want a signed copy, pre-order the book. Pre-order it now. Let me know that you pre-ordered it so you can get entered in the giveaway for Walter the Frog that we're making right now. But also, like, it helps me know how many copies to get. And, like, you know, because right now I had to order a certain amount of copies and I'm a little stressed about the amount that I got. But I'm just excited about it. So if you really want a signed copy, I highly suggest pre-ordering the book, and I'll make that happen. Or if you are waiting patiently for the right time to order the book, getting it during the campaign to support the campaign, there's going to be a lot of options for getting signed copies that way as well. But yeah, thank you for asking. And I just think it's so cool that anybody would even want something signed by me. It's like, what? Wild. I don't know. That's just like, I just never ever thought that would be something that someone would want, and it's just like really freaking cool. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I just never thought someone would want. I don't know. It's just really cool. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually getting teary-eyed thinking about the fact that anybody would care about that. That just means a lot. Where did I leave off, by the way? Oh, did you hear that neck crack? Wow, I'm a whole new man. Oh my goodness, that was a really good neck crack. Okay. What type of dice do you need for the game, and how many? Here, I'll show you, Watermelon, 1 second. So this is one of the many dice bags that I have for my version of the game, and it has a lot more dice than you actually need for the game, Watermelon. By the way, is there a watermelon patch in Gumia? Not yet, but I think there should be. There's a whole northern continent that we haven't explored yet, so a lot of room for a watermelon patch. Anyhow, these are the dice that that I used to play the game. This is one of them. And you don't need this many dice. All you really need to play the game, it's really helpful to have an 8-sided dice, but you can actually just have like something to mark 8 things. So if you just have like 8 items, like 8 coins or whatever, you can use that instead. But I like using an 8-sided dice. This is your yarn ball in the game, which is like your way to win the game, is you're trying to get your yarn ball all the way to 8. You're like winding it up each round and in turn and stuff. So this is probably the hardest dice for you to get. And again, you don't really need an 8-sided dice. You can actually play this with just markers and stuff if you want, or even like a piece of paper and lines with a pen. That will totally work. But outside of that, what you also need is 6-sided dice. So these are the main dice that I use. I use these little tiny ones. You get them, they're kind of like Warhammer dice. The only amount you can probably get away the whole game with just 6 dice and be fine with 6 dice. You also can probably use digital dice. If you go to like Google and you type in dice, 6-sided dice, you can add as many dice as you want and you can roll for free. There's a bunch of free options like that. What do we get? All right. So in the game, you're trying to roll and try to get a 6 or a 5 on any dice, and that means it's a success in the game. So if you're trying to attack someone or you're trying to wind your yarn ball up, you're trying to roll to get a 6 or 5 or a 6. So we got a success. That means we rolled a 6, and that means we did a good job. So that's the answer to your question. But like I said, you don't really need this many dice. I just like playing with a lot of dice because I think it's really fun to roll a bunch of dice at once. I also think it's fun to use the dice as markers for the game, so you can keep track of your of stats and stuff. But you don't need to. You can get away without doing any of that and just instead doing a oh wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong count here. 1 stitch and then an increase. Okay. Yeah, you can get away with just having digital dice and little like buttons or tokens to keep track of your stats, or even pencil and paper would work too. Yeah. So yeah, digital dice work too, and that's why I'm trying to make a. I'm really trying to make a companion app for this, so that just in case you don't have those dice, or you just don't want to get a bunch of dice, or you don't want to carry all these dice, you can just play with the cards instead, or even just play like the digital version of the game. So that's my goal. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but that's the plan. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Zoe is a genius. Zoe just said, Watermelon, you work with resin, right? Imagine tiny yarn balls inside of the dice. Oh, that's so cool, dude. Watermelon, if you make a set of tiny yarn balls in dice, I will happily buy those off of you, or trade you some crochet for it. Oh my gosh, you should do that and send a picture. I want to see it. This music is wild, by the way. Kind of intense, huh? I'm gonna turn it down just a little. Actually, I'm just gonna go a little bit ahead. Boop. There we go. Get something a little bit nicer in there. Oh, the bubbles probably would be a pain, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay, we're almost done with our wizard hat. It needs spots and stuff, and it still needs a brim. So we got one more round of making a brim, and then we can work on the we can add the dots, and then we'll put everything together. So we're actually almost already done. Oh no, I know, but it's true. We're already almost done with today's stream. But don't worry, we're going to be live again next week, by the way. So if you want to, make sure to like and subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss it when we come out with our live streams weekly. We'll be live again next Friday. I think I'm going to be live. So I'll definitely be live next Friday starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what we're making, but as a birthday gift to Zoe, I think I'm going to let Zoe choose what we're making. So Zoe, I'll hit you up after this once I like chill out for a second. I'll send you a message. I was thinking maybe like you could help me choose between 4 options, or if you don't want to help choose, that's totally fine. I totally understand. But I could probably use the advice, and I thought it'd be kind of a fun little birthday thing for you to like actually help us choose what we're making. But yeah, again, like if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. I can figure it out on my own, no worries. But that's what we're going to do next week, is we're going to crochet something from the library. I don't know what. It might not be from the library. It might be a live design. I'm not really sure. But Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss it when we come out with those. And then in addition to that, we're also going to be doing another stream soon for the game. So the game I'm going to be doing a big announcement for in early June. And with that announcement, we're going to be playing the game a lot during live streams. So if you want to join those live streams and learn more about that, go to thegoomis.com, and there's a place to enter your email so that you can like get notified about the game and stuff. Enter your email there, and I'll make sure to email you when we do live streams. The only reason I say that is because it's not it might not be on this direct Club Crochet channel. I mean, I think I might do it on the Club Crochet channel, but I also might do it on the Louie's Loops channel. I don't know yet. But the only reason I say that is just because like if you want to make sure you don't miss information about Battle Goomis, you want to join that special email list, or email me directly at louis@clubcrochet.com. Say that you're interested in playtesting the game, something like that. Look at that hat. Look at that. We'll add the dots on. Actually, yeah, let's add. I don't know. What do you think? Should we add the dots on after we put it on the head, or should we add the dots on now? Let's add the dots on right now, and then that way we know where they're gonna be. So we need some white yarn. And we don't really need too much of it. I don't think we'll need that much. We're just going to use this to make some spots and dots. Zoe's birthday's on Sunday! Congratulations, Zoe. Could you make 3D printed yarn balls? Oh, yeah, dude. Actually, Kaylin's got a good point. Watermelon. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, Watermelon's probably not here anymore. But that's a really good idea, Kaylin. Next time Watermelon's in here, we should tell her that. Because that's probably a good way to get rid of, like, not have to worry about those, like, bubbles and stuff. I don't know. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh, dude, Ivy. Happy birthday for Ivy, too. Happy birthday, dude. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to add some dots and spots. I don't know where. We're just going to make this up. Let's see. I think I want the hat to be kind of curved out like this. You know? Like that a little bit. So if we want it like that, I think we need one big spot here. Would probably be a good spot to start us off. So we'll go one. And I'm going to pull it almost all the way through. And I'll just double this up. Like this. I actually think I probably should have done this all with just like one strand of yarn instead of doing a double strand, but we can do that in the next one. Yeah, I think that's good enough actually. So we'll just go in there. And then I'll just double knot to the other side. I was going to try to do like a bunch of spots and then knot the yarn together so that we could just make them all together. But it's all going to be on the inside anyhow, and it's going to be on their head, so you won't even see the threads. So let's just go ahead and knot it and cut it close. There we go. One. And two. I might have knotted that a little tighter than I wanted to, but that's all right. It'll be fine. Anybody in the chat watch Dropout or Game Changer or any of those things on Dropout? Because there was a Game Changer that we watched last night that was so good. And if you haven't watched Dropout yet, highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 show. Or channel. Or streaming service or whatever it is. It's 10 out of 10 and you should watch it. Let's do another dot that's really close to this first one. I usually like to do two dots that are close to each other because then it kind of gives like the feeling that there's spots on a mushroom already. So we'll just do a little one right here. Like maybe we'll repeat like 3 times here to get like a good spot. This. Yeah, like that. See, so now we got just like a little mushroom spot that's next to the first one. So it's not like too close, but I mean, it's pretty close, but I don't know. I like to start like that and then kind of spread the other ones out past that. Obviously, you can kind of pick and choose where you want your spots and dots. Obviously. Oh, Watermelon is still here. Clay could totally work too. Dude, yeah, you can get you can find a 3D printer at most libraries now, actually. And you just email them the file that you want printed, and then they'll print it for you and let you know when to come pick it up. It's really cool. At least that's how it is Like, there's a couple of libraries near us that they all do the same thing. And I don't know, maybe it's a California thing, but it felt like something that was just a library thing. I don't know. There's also like maker studios and stuff that you can find 3D printers at, and it was really cheap to get the 3D prints. It was like not expensive at all. But obviously you can't really test out like how it's gonna look. So I don't know how. I don't know how like valid of like a tool that will be for you. But maybe it'd be really useful. Let's go like right here. Like no, let's go up a little. Let's go like right here. We'll do another small dot here because it's really close to that first big dot, and I don't really want the dots to be too close together, especially like a big one next to another big one. So we'll just do this. Pull it almost all the way through, and let's do a double dot here so it's like kind of small. Like that. Oops, there we go, and boop. Kind of simple. And I think we'll do like another, like 1 or 2 back here probably. And then we'll sew it onto the head and be done. Oh, he doesn't have a wand. We need him to have like some kind of staff. Now normally I use like a crochet hook for that. But maybe we'll use a darning... Oh, yeah, let's use a darning needle for that. Like, it's an old artifact that he had. And we'll put, like, a button or something. We'll make him, like, a magical staff. Yeah, we'll do that last. All right. There's 3 spots and dots. Let's do one on the back down here that's really big. So that means we're going to probably repeat this, like, 4 times. Oopsies. 4 times. Hey, Tina! I think I saw your comment earlier and I've totally was sidetracked on talking about lore. Hey, Tina, how you doing, dude? How are you? Do you like seeing Jack gurgle in the background of all my videos recently? I thought that the other day. I was like, I bet you Tina notices Jack in the background. Because he's always in the background of my video on the Louis Loops channel. I don't know, maybe you haven't even seen those videos yet. I don't know. I've been waiting to do a video about Jack. I just don't want to like... I want to kind of save him for the right time, you know? Because he's such a big character to me. And I don't want to... I don't know. Mess up. Alright, I like that low dot there. I think that was pretty good. And it's nice and big. Let's do a couple more of these. 1... and 2. Okay. Adding another one. We'll go right... Let's go up here like that, between these two. We don't want to make this one very big. This one might be our last dot, because we are getting a little busy. You know, let's go even higher up on the hat, like up all the way up to like there. I think that's a better spot because then, you know, we don't really have any dots up that high. And I think this will fill in enough for us to have this be the last one, but I guess we'll see. Let's try doing this like 3 or 4 times. Like we'll make a really big, tiny dot, which I know sounds like an oxymoron, but you know, it's a small dot, but I want it to be like kind of like full. Let's see, will 3 be enough? Or should we do 4? Let's try 3 and see how it looks. Okay, ready? Actually that looks... I kind of like that. Simple, tiny-ish. The hat's going to be sewn on like this. I think it's enough dots. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty good. Okay. Let's call this, cut it, and we'll sew this onto the head, and then we'll make him a fancy wizard staff made out of a needle and some buttons or something. Ooh, we'll pick a cool golden button. That's a great idea. All right. So we'll start by this. I thought I had a yellow staff somewhere. Okay, whatever. We'll find it later. Let's go ahead and sew this onto the head. We're not going to sew this on really, really thoroughly. We're just going to kind of like, not like half sew it on, but just kind of like attach it on is what I'm going to say. So there's two ends here. So we're going to start with the shorter end, and then we'll stack the other part. You have under 9 days to finish 2 front panels of your crocheted monarch cardigan. Oh my freaking god, Celia, that sounds so cool. I want to see that so bad. Will you put that in the Discord? That sounds, oh my god, amazing. Is that your pattern, Celia? Or are you working on a different monarch pattern? That is such a cool idea. I want to see that so bad. But sorry, I got so distracted by how awesome of an idea that is, I didn't even finish the comment. You have a whole pack of 1 panel done, but hopefully you can have enough time between work to get it done in time. Wish you luck. Well, good luck, dude. That sounds really cool. That sounds like, honestly, the craziest thing you're ever going to crochet in your life. That's wild. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see how that turns out. I really hope you post a picture, because that's really, really cool, dude. All right, so we want this sewn onto the head like that. So I'm going to kind of hold it in place. Maybe I should pin it down. Where's my pins? Here. I thought I had like more pins somewhere. Probably all over the floor or something. Okay, we're just going to go like this. Just to keep that pinned down a little bit as we sew it on. Wow, I really want to hear about that monarch thing. That sounds so cool. Okay, so we're going to go right here. We'll come out like there. No, we need to come out higher up. Maybe up like there, like that. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. And we're just going to attach to maybe like right here, the inside. Again, like we're just kind of tacking this on more than sewing it on. So I just kind of need to find 1 or 2 stitches that fit it in the right spots. So next bit, we'll go right through the top. Make sure that the hat is stuffed. Okay, we'll tack that part on. And then let's go behind the eye right here. It might be a little low. I don't know. Oh, I'm excited to try to figure out his staff. Okay. Nice. All right, we need, well, that might be a little lower than we want. Whatever, we'll just tack it onto here and just let the brim of the hat kind of hold it down, cover up any mistakes that we make. But I guess it's not really a mistake necessarily. Yeah, it's not. It looks good. Do we want to stuff the hat at all more? I don't think we need to. Here, you know what we're going to do? We don't need to stuff the hat, but we're going to put something in the hat that only we know about, which is a lucky button. There we go. Okay, this lucky golden button is going in this hat, and only me and you know about this, okay? This is our secret. Golden button. And the hat of Walter the Frog. Lucky button. Alright. Boom. Boom. Find that other end. Hopefully that doesn't fall out. I don't think it ever will, actually. Boom. Nice. Okay. Double knot this together, and then we need some green yarn that is a different shade than our main character here, to put into the pot, into the cauldron, so that it looks more like full of some kind of like goo or something. And we need to give him a staff. So let's start with the goo thing. First off, before I even get to that, look at Walter. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. He's so grumpy. I love him. It's so cute. And look at his little butt. Love that. Okay. So let's get him into his cauldron real quick. Get that. We need that we need like a lime greenish yarn. Hold on. Let's see what I got. Oh, here. You know what? This is perfect. I bought this for pictures of the book because it had these really cute little flowers and stuff, but I didn't really use it for anything. But this is kind of like the perfect yarn because it also has these little flibbity flobbities in it. That's the technical term. I think these are called flibbity flobbities. Anyhow, this is perfect because we can throw it in there and have those flibbity flobbities covering up parts of it. So we want, I like to do like a little bit down like that. And then we'll shove the rest of it in like this around his body. So that the goal here is we want just like little bits popping out. So you can see that he's in a pot with a bunch of little bibbly bobblies. Is that what I called it? Zibbity-zibbity-biddies. Zoobity-zobbities. That's what they're called, zoobity-zobbities. Okay, let's work our way over. There we go. All right, I think that's enough. Okay. That's too stinking cute. Okay, next up we need a little bit, we need a staff for him. That's what we need. Let's put some stuff away here. Okay, so I have these nice darning needles that we could use, but I actually think, he's special. I feel like he needs you know what? Let's use our darning needle. Let's see if I can find a button that goes well into this, because then he's got this golden, beautiful, staff. So can I fit anything in that? That's the big question. Let's see if there's any of these buttons that I can fit in here, as these ones are pretty small. Can I fit this in this? No, there's just no way. We might be able to sew it onto the thing though. Yeah, let's do it that way. Because then we can choose a different button too. Let's go with, oh, you know what? Let's go with the star button. Oh, that's perfect. So we do the star one, right? Can I fit the little end in there? Not really. How much thicker is it? Oh, it's pretty significant. I could try bending this to fit that in there. And then he would have this beautiful star. Let's do that. Okay, wait. I don't know if this is gonna work. And we might be about to ruin a needle, but I believe that it's worth a shot. Here's what we need for this. We need pliers. See, can I fit this in there? Okay, and then can I just nice. Yeah, okay, look, that bent it open. Did it bend enough? Oh, it did! Oh my gosh, it actually just fits in there perfect. Oh, wow, I actually don't even know if we need to mess with it much than that. Hold on. I think we need to mess with it a little bit. So let's go with, we're going to use this needle, and I have a little bit of yellow thread somewhere. I'm sure I do. I just saw it yesterday, and I was like, oh, that's yellow thread. Oh, this will work. Will that break? No. Okay, we're just going to use that. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We're going to thread this yellow yarn on this needle. This is probably going to be the hardest part. I kind of wish I had a different needle for this. I need to go buy new needles. I've lost like all my needles. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. What a beaut. All right. And we're going to go, I'm going to go like this through the button itself. Or sorry, through the needle itself. Okay. And then we're going to go, I want to leave just a little bit for double knotting. And then we'll go through the buttonhole. Okay. And then let's start by going around the top of the needle. And then through the buttonhole again. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of making this up. And then we'll go around the bottom of the needle like this. If I can get it on the underside of that button. Yeah. That. And then we'll go through the buttonhole again. And let's go around the bottom one more time. Like this. And then we're going to go through the... Yeah, we'll go through the bottom of this needle hole. Like that. And then that way... It should be enough. And then we can double knot these two ends together. And I'll have this beautiful golden star staff. Boom. Pretty cute. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so cool. Okay, that is actually really, really cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add his staff to his little cauldron right here behind him. And there we go. Walter the Frog is finished. Oh, beautiful. Love that. That was a fun one. That was a really fun one to make. All right, again, guys, thank you so much for joining, by the way. Please, again, if you haven't yet, like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss when we come out with new ones. This is going to be the giveaway. So, if you would like to pre-order the book and get a button added to this, if you do a pre-order right now, I'll add a gigantic button to this. But once we fill this up, we're going to give away this frog to someone that helped fill this up, to a random pre-order. So all you need to do is help that out is pre-order the book. You can look more into all of this stuff at thegoomis.com. You can find the link right here at the bottom of the screen or in the description down below. Again, it's thegoomis.com. There's a new book, there's a new game coming out, all this other stuff, and we're going to be doing more crochet alongs like this throughout all the time until the book comes out in September. So keep a lookout there. If you want to, if you go to thegoomis.com, you scroll to the bottom, you'll see all of the live streams that are planned. The next live stream planned is June 2nd. Which is going to be for Battle Goomis. So we're going to be talking about Battle Goomis on June 2nd. So if you want to put a notifier in your little calendar there, June 2nd. I don't know what time yet. I'm not sure where it's going to be live streamed. To get notifications for that live stream, join the email list by going to thegoomis.com. Scroll down to the part where it says Battle Goomis and sign up with your email address. It's also at the top of the page too. If you go to thegoomis.com, it'll say sign up for the game and put your email address in there. Put it in there and you'll get an email notification for when we go live for Battle Goomis. Thank you guys so much for joining today. Really fun crochet along. Super cool looking dude. And now we've got Bigfoot Bobby and Walter the Frog done. You know what's crazy about this actually? Wow. Okay, so this was, I swear to God, this was totally random what crochet character we made today. And I didn't even think about it until right now. But Bigfoot Bobby is number 1 in the book. Walter the Frog is number 2. Look. I totally didn't even think about that until right now. But look, in the card's corner, you can see the number. There you go. Number 2. Number 1 and 2. We've already made number 1 and 2. How exciting. We can make all 50. All right. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Pasta la pizza. Happy hooking. Oh my gosh, stop. No, you hang up first. You're making me blursh. No, stop. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Oh, wait, wrong one. Wrong one. Hold on. I clicked the wrong one. That's the one we want to click. Okay, that's it. There we go. There we go. I did it. I did it right. I did it right. I sound like Bugs Bunny. Yeah. What's up, Doc? All right. Happy birthday again to Zoe. Pasta la pizza. No, stop. You hang up first, Tina. No, you hang up first, Celia. Oh my gosh, you're making me blursh. All right, guys. Bye.